avoidance of all doubt, this hat is not tasty. But there's some things we said we would never do. But we're going to build a big rocket.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going over everything you need to know about Rocket Lab before investing. Rocket Lab is a company based out of New Zealand with a mission to, quote, improve life on Earth by unlocking the potential of space. And seeing as though Rocket Lab is at the forefront of aerospace manufacturing and small sat launches, they're well on their way to doing just that. Today I'm going to give you an overview of the company, talk about their future plans, and address their risks. Then we'll give you our price target at the end, so stick around for that. So where does this company stand, and how can we get to investing in it? In March of 2021, Rocket Lab announced that they would begin trading publicly through a merger with a Spax called Vector Acquisition Corporation. The deal values Rocket Lab at $4.1 billion, and the company will be provided with a whopping $790 million in capital to begin development on a medium-lift rocket with a reusable first stage. More on that later in the video. The merger vote, aka the last milestone before the merger deal closes, will take place on August 20th, so look out for that in the next few days. Rocket Lab's ticker symbol is set to change as well, from VACQ, where it is currently trading from, to RKLB, a fitting acronym for this rising star in the space industry. For such a small company, Rocket Lab has built quite a name for itself among avid space fans. Its reputation is most certainly deserved, as it has defined a number of industry firsts. For example, Rocket Lab pioneered the technology required to 3D print an entire rocket engine from start to finish. This allows them to print one engine every 24 hours with extreme precision and reliability. This means, in the time it would take you to binge the entirety of Game of Thrones, the Rocket Lab team could print 3 state-of-the-art electric pump-fed liquid-fueled Rutherford engines. In fact, while those 3 engines are printing, the Rocket Lab team could binge Game of Thrones with you, since the process is so heavily automated. With their small Electron rocket, they have dominated the market in small satellite launches, delivering payloads to precise and unique orbits. Rocket Lab is on promising horizons, and Electron has allowed them to blast off to an amazing start in the rocket industry. Alongside the company's debut on the New York Stock Exchange, they have also announced their work on a new project that will truly take their company into the stratosphere. Remember the medium-lift launch vehicle I mentioned earlier? Well, this rocket, dubbed Neutron, is capable of competing directly with SpaceX's legendary Falcon 9 in the markets for both satellite launches and human spaceflight. Set to release in 2024, Neutron is designed to enable a high launch pattern and decreased launch cost for customers. Yet how will a small company like Rocket Lab be able to survive in the same arena as SpaceX? Fortunately, Rocket Lab CEO Peter Beck has already given us an answer to this question with Neutron. See, many companies would like to compete with Starlink, SpaceX's mega constellation of satellites, but they can't exactly expect Elon Musk to let them launch their satellites on SpaceX rockets. So where will these billions of dollars in demand for satellite launches go? Straight to Rocket Lab, who will use Neutron to launch thousands of satellites directly into orbit. This company has massive growth potential, and despite their small size, they've already proven themselves to be both competent and innovative. This sounds amazing, but you may be wondering, what's the catch? For the next part of this video, I'll go over some potential concerns to keep an eye on at Rocket Lab. So, Rocket Lab isn't close to profitability quite yet, but that is to be expected of a company in the middle of an exciting technology race. It would be a mistake to aim for early profitability as opposed to investing heavily into research and development, which is the path the company has chosen. It is also unclear whether COVID-19 has put Rocket Lab at a distinct disadvantage. They had supply line issues during the pandemic, but so did every other space company, so it's too early to make any judgment calls. Another potential risk the company stated would be the unexpected loss of Peter Beck as their leader. According to Rocket Lab itself, Beck is a fiery and charismatic CEO who demands the best of his employees and relentlessly promotes the company brand and its technological innovations. We have no reason to believe that Peter Beck would leave Rocket Lab, but we will certainly keep an eye out for any future indications as to if this could actually occur. One last thing to discuss is why Rocket Lab decided to build a larger rocket in the first place. Well, that's because the small launch world is getting overcrowded. Astra, Virgin Orbit, Firefly, and Relativity, as well as dozens of other companies, are entering the small launch space market. So, to compete in a more underserved industry, they have decided to graduate to medium lift launch vehicles. Basically, Rocket Lab can now service the demands of mega constellations and human spaceflight, which is a huge advantage. While developing a new launch system through Neutron is certainly a risk, the reward will be well worth it, and there is no reason to believe that the Rocket Lab team isn't capable of pulling it off. So to be honest, I'm an astrophysics major, so I'm not really the financial expert here on the Launch Window Research channel. So I'm going to hand the rest of the video over to Nathan to give you an expert opinion on Rocket Lab's financials.
Hey guys, it's Nathan, and I'm going to be going over everything you need to know about the financial side of Rocket Lab using some slides put together by Redcliffe Research. For those of you who don't know, Launch Window Research is actually a subsidiary of Redcliffe Research. So if you're looking for more general stock market content, I highly suggest going over and checking out the channel. Redcliffe Research is home to the smartest and most successful people I know in the markets, and I have learned a lot from them. So these are the three ways that a company can go public. You have the IPO, initial public offering, initial coin offering, which is the IPO for cryptocurrencies, and you have the special purpose acquisition corporation. So it's good to know that Spax are currently out of favor right now within the market. So there is going to be a negative bias against Spax baked into Rocket Lab's price action. This isn't that big of a deal for us because we're looking to invest in Rocket Lab long term. Here's a list of some of the benefits of Spax, and there are two that we should be interested in. One, of course, is speed. Going public via SPAC is significantly faster than a regular IPO. A SPAC can take 3 to 4 months, while a regular IPO can take over a year. This is the path we expect Rocket Lab to take because they need money and they need it fast to develop Neutron as quickly as possible. The second benefit we should look at is the benefit of gaining strategic partnerships as a result of this merger. A lot of times companies will gain a completely new board of directors or a team of government lobbyists or a new team of individuals who are experts in the finance world. This means that Rocket Lab will have people in the political and financial arenas backing them up. All right, so here's the price action for Rocket Lab stock. It's still trading under the ticker symbol VACQ because the merger hasn't technically gone through yet. What we've gone and drawn on this chart is what we believe to be the mean reversion line. This is how we believe you should currently judge how to get a good price on this stock. The mean reversion line appears to be resting at around $10.43. So every time the stock goes above this price, it tends to return back to this level, and same thing whenever it goes below. Note that this pattern might change after the merger goes through. Once the ticker is RKLB, the price action might be completely different. Now let's talk about some of the risks that are involved with this particular SPAC deal. Currently, Vector Acquisition Corp is trading at a price to book value of about 1.63, basically meaning that if Rocket Lab shut down tomorrow, each particular shareholder would get $1 for every $1.63 they have invested in the company. The price to book value would be 1 when Rocket Lab is trading at $7.10. If you invest, say, $10 to buy a share of Rocket Lab, you're only at risk of losing $2.90 of that $10. And again, that's if Rocket Lab goes bankrupt tomorrow, which hopefully you don't think that's going to happen if you're investing in this company. So now we get to the famed Redcliffe Research scoring system and price target. Now, unfortunately, I cannot tell you exactly what goes on behind this proprietary gray box.
Manipulate scientific data.
But I can tell you that Redcliffe Research has come up with an 18-month price target of $29.65. One thing to keep in mind, though, is that this is just an 18-month price target. Longer term, maybe 7-8 years from now, I could very well see Rocket Lab trading at $400. And yes, that sounds like a lot, but it really isn't that unreasonable if you assume that Rocket Lab is able to successfully follow in the footsteps of SpaceX, and there is some sort of prominent event in the space industry like a return to the moon or a landing on Mars that gets investors to pile into aerospace and reusable rocket companies. Now, of course, we're not going to list that as an official price target for this video, because we will have to wait and see whether or not Rocket Lab is able to actually achieve the goals it has set for itself. So overall, we have to say Rocket Lab is a buy here. They're a well-established company in a growing industry, so the odds of losing money are low, and if this Neutron project actually works out, you'll make a big profit. If you want to stay up to date as we track the progress of Rocket Lab and determine whether their stock will actually hit $400, please consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.